Okay, hello everyone, you're very welcome. Thanks for dropping by again. Okay, so there you go, I'm at it again. I've got a little wood burning stove for a shed. Small little setup, propane tank, you know, a couple of bits of wood, coal, whatever he wants to burn in it will be fine, and it'll throw out a fair bit of heat. Maybe, you know, given the size of ordinary stoves, maybe about 4 kilowatts of heat for very little fuel. So that's the setup. This is going to have glass in it. It's going to hinge like this. Haven't done the hinges yet. Have to take the handles off, do something different with the top maybe. And it's going to have a little, you know, air feed restrictor on the bottom. Also, it'll double up as somewhere to rake out the ashes and so on. You can probably get it from the top, but this, you know, I'm going to set it up so you can put it, shove it in and take it out. So a little bit of thought going into it, very easy to make. Okay, so here's a closer look at the progress on this little DIY stove. It's a wood burning stove. This section here, this lower section, most of that, maybe you can see the kind of the weld line or along there. You know, I'm going to step back maybe half an inch from there and take this bit out of the back. The reason for that is so I can, you know, get fuel in, or not me, but so we can put fuel into the stove. The bottom one, you'll see here there's a line cut. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that down a bit, and there'll be a bit of an ash door that'll look a bit like this. Now everything warps a little bit when you weld it, but that's the setup anyway. And we'll fire this up in the garden, you know, burn off this paint. Obviously we don't want to do it in a little shed. So that's the setup. Not pretty, you know, but when it's painted black and all of that, it'll be okay. Now the plan is to do the ash door on this little stove. It's also going to be the air intake. I'm going to have a slider so I can regulate the air into it. Actually very easy to do. I've pre-cut some steel, I'll just show you that. Okay, so essentially I'm making a letterbox for this as an air intake. It's going to be something like this, you know, with the bottom piece on that as well. It's going to go in like this. I'm going to cut a hole in the side of this, and it's going to go in. There'll be a slider on it then for air intake, and that'll be it. So this will be the ash door and the air intake. So I have to make it some sort of a slider system to go across it like this. But I'll show you that as I do it. Okay, here we go. Now this is my propane tank pot belly stove. It's, you know, 13 kilo, that sort of thing, 26 pounds, 28 pounds, whatever. Propane tank, small little tank. Should have about 4 kilowatts of heat output, thereabouts, to the room. It's multi-fuel. I made it from 4mm plate, so I cut some 4mm plate. I made kind of a box, marked it off on the stove, or marked it off on the propane neck rather, and pushed it in and welded it on. Okay, so that's that bit. And then I just literally put a couple of domestic hinges on it, just a couple of standard hinges, bolted them on, lined it all up, weld that to the front. Okay, it's got to get a handle yet. And then I made an ash door. This is it, very simple. Again, a bit like the top bit, you know, I made it a bit like a letterbox. Now I decided what size I wanted it. In this case it's about 7 inches by 3 and a bit, 3 1/4 inches maybe, internal. Okay, I marked it off, put it against this unit, marked it off on the propane tank, and then it just literally slides in. Okay, so you can get at the ash when it's down in the hollow. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to weld this all up and then fill it with cement. Not fill it, but, you know, I'm going to take the curve out of it, and the whole bottom piece all the way to the back is going to be flat. That way you can get your shovel, push it in, get the ash wherever it lives, and take it out. And that'll be it. I'll give you a closer look at the stove now in a second. But here we go, look, here's the little slider thing I made. Very simple, couldn't be easier, you know, literally just a slide. A couple of pieces of angle iron for the slide rails, if you like. That slides in, and that's it, you know. So in that configuration, the stove is getting very little or no air. A little bit of air, and then you can get it to roar if you want, you know. So that's the deal. And then if you want, obviously if you want to clean out the stove after it's come out, pull that out, put your shovel in, you know, take it out. So that's the plan. This thing is progressing well. I'm going to take the top off and maybe I'll come up with some way of tidying up the top end of it a bit. But there you go, cheap and cheerful, you know, pot belly stove. It's not for me, it's for somebody else's shed. But yeah, look, when I weld it all together, obviously this will stop moving. I'll line it all up, tack it in, weld it down, and then I'll fill the bottom with vermiculite and some cement, a bit of sand. Bring it up to level, and then that's it. You know, should get a few years out of it anyway. Now you can hear that my stove in the shed has come up to temperature because the kettle is actually boiling. So I'm going to get a cup of tea now. So I'll leave it there. Okay, so that's it. If you like the video, please thumbs up, and sure, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now. Good luck.